Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a fake Jeffree Star Thirsty palette versus a real Jeffree Star Thirsty palette. I got my fake one in Santee Alley, which is in downtown Los Angeles. I got this idea from James Charles because he tested out a fake James Charles Morphe palette versus his real one. And I definitely could tell in his video that there were a lot of differences from the palettes I have. First I have the box of the fake one, and this box is a lot darker, I'm pretty sure, but I don't have the box of the other one. As you can see right here, it says cosmetics instead of cosmetics. And then on the back of this, it has a snowflake, which I'm pretty sure that Jeffree's has a star. I talked about this a little later in the video, but fake one is definitely a little smaller. The back of the fake one is plain. Real one has the lines on the back. The water droplets on the real one are a little more prominent than the fake one. The coloring is a little different. And then in the inside, my real one, all the colors are kind of in these big squares. The names make sense. They're English words like subtle, quench, snatched, plunge. Just like normal names. It also has a mirror. Then in the fake one, the mirror's a little smaller. This part is a lot darker. The colors are a little smaller because it is a smaller palette. The colors are kind of darker, not really the same. And then these textured shadows are not really textured. The names are not really English. They have like taste Babz, Rozes, Stromberg. Like you can't really say them. They're not really real words. So you can kind of tell that it's fake. These are also just some clues that if you're shopping somewhere and it's not like the licensed place to sell them, like Ulta or Sephora, then you obviously know that it's fake. I'll try to link a place to buy the real one, and the real one is one of my favorite palettes. As you can see with what I did, I like this textured shadow. And then on the other side, you can kind of just see I recreated the look with the fake colors. I'm going to start with some swatches, so if you're interested in this video, just keep watching and let's get right in. So I'm going to start with the first row. So we're going to start with Parched, which probably won't show up that well because it's a nude. And then I'm going to use Parched in the fake palette, which is not called Parched. It's kind of hard to tell, but this is the real one, this is the fake one. I didn't think either one would really show up, but you can tell that the real one is actually more pigmented. Then we're going to go in with Taste Buds, which is a light coral color, and then the fake one, which seems a lot darker. So this is the real one. It's a little more orangey. This one is a little more transparent, but these swatch not that bad. Then I'm going to be doing Fytch with 4 or 5 eyes, and this is a darker coral, kind of almost a neon. So this one didn't swatch too bad. Again, this one is more orangey, and then I don't know if you can tell, but this one is almost like flaking off and more chalky. This one isn't that transparent. I'm going to continue the swatches. I'm going to be using Kumquat in the real one. This is kind of a burnt orangey color. And then I'm using the fake one, which again has an unreadable name. So as you can see, this is the real one. I think it's more pigmented and also more orange. This one is a little more brown. And then the one called Stroke is kind of a darker shade, but kind of a similar shade. And I use this in my eyeshadow, and I did explain that I thought that fake one was a little more dark. So this is the real one, this is the fake. This is a little more red and dark. And this one actually seemed like it's more pigmented, which is kind of surprising. Now I'm going to move on to the textured shadows, and you'll see that there's a big difference between the real and the fake palette. So I'm using Divine, which is a nice silver color and one of my favorites. And then in the fake one, so it doesn't appear to look that bad, but this one is definitely textured. This one is like a normal shadow. You can just see the difference between my two fingers. This one is much more creamy, and this one is just like a powder. And it might be hard to tell, but this is definitely better quality. And this is just normal eyeshadow, nothing really special to it. And then I'm going into Healthy Rich, which is a nice textured gold shadow. And in the fake one, it almost looks green. And this is kind of what happened with the silver, maybe a little of a different color, but one is very like textured and glittery, and the other one is just kind of solid and a normal shadow. And then I'm going to use Lith, which is kind of like an orangey yellow. And this one is not as textured as the other one. These look pretty similar, but this one is a little more pigmented, I feel like. Then I'm going to be using the last two textured shadows. So Snatched, which I used in my eyeshadow, is one of my favorites. You can see like this one is glittery, thick, and this one is just kind of there, doesn't really show up. And then we're going to use Plunge, which is a little darker and browner. So these are almost not even the same color. And again, this one is so light. Then I'm going to be doing the last row. So I'm starting with Subtle. This is a nice light brown. And then Subtle in the fake is actually spelled right, but it's a lot darker. These are both the real and this is the fake. I think that the browns in this palette are not necessarily that pigmented, but the fake one is definitely just not even the right color. And then Quench is a nice yellow color. This one looks good on the eyes, but it's kind of hard to see on my skin. And then it just barely went on with the fake one. And then Submerge, nice blue color. And then in the fake one, it's a lot darker. So these are like not even the same color. And then I'm gonna use Splash, which is what I used in my eyeshadow today. And then again, you can see like this one went on clearly, and then this one just barely. And then I have one other color that is Drizzle. And in the fake one, Drizzle looks the same as Subtle, but in the real one, Drizzle's a lot darker. And this is actually pretty red, and that's the real one. And I also use that in my eyeshadow, as you'll see in the tutorial. Overall, I think that these, like, you can see a clear difference in the swatches, and I think that it's worth spending the extra money. If I didn't mention it before, these palettes in Santee Alley were 2 for $20 or 1 for $12, which is a good price if it was real, but the real one is actually $50 and much better quality. You know that it's safe, it's a real brand, and you don't have to worry about it not applying well. I'm going to start off with this Photo Focus eyeshadow primer from Wet n Wild. And I'm just blending that in with my fingers. And then I'm going to use the Kylie Airspun Loose Face Powder in the shade Translucent. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. concealer brush and just set that primer. Crystal sky. Now I'm going to get into using the two palettes. So this is the real palette, this is the fake palette. The fake one is a lot smaller. I'm just gonna see which colors work well and do this side real, this side fake. So I'm going to be using in the crease, I'm gonna use this color called Stroke right here. And I'm using a Sonia Kouchik double-ended brush. I'm using this side. So again, this is the real palette. Just kind of building that up. So I think that looks pretty good. Now I cleaned my brush and I'm going to go on to the fake side. So I'm going to use the same shade, but they call it Stromberg because they spell a lot of things wrong. And this looks a lot darker. The fake one on the bottom is kind of more red. This is actually pretty pigmented. Seems like it's going on a little easier actually. But I do think that it might be a different color. And then I'm going to go back to the real side, just add a little more, just one higher up on this side. Now for the lid, I always put on NYX lid lacquer in clear. I get a little drop on my finger and then kind of just dab it on. Then with the real palette, I usually don't use a brush. So I'm going to be using this color called Snatched. This is one of my favorites. And this is a textured shadow. Just putting some on my finger. And almost going to the outer corner of my eye. That side applied pretty well. I'm a little skeptical of this palette. So they call it Sertilpa or something spelled weird. And I don't know if it's gonna work with my finger. I'm gonna try. As you can see, like nothing, like it's more like a regular shadow. It doesn't really get on my finger as much. And I think I'm gonna have to use a brush for this one. I'm using this flat brush that I believe is from Amazon. Still doesn't look very good, but it's going on a little better with the brush. As you can tell, this one is like very sparkly and this one is kind of just like a regular shadow. On both sides, I'm gonna dip back into that reddish brown color and define the crease more. And using the same flat brush that I cleaned off. I'm going to be using Splash. This is turquoise color. And my finger in Snatched again. Blend the two together. Brush. Then on the cheap side, they call it Splaller. Looks maybe a little darker. Goes on the brush, very chalky it looks like. But right now it doesn't really look like there's much of a difference, but I think that the colors on this side can apply better. Now what I don't like about both of these palettes is they're not a super dark color, so I don't usually use it for the crease, like an outer corner, but I'm going to be using Drizzle and this little L'Oreal brush. I'm applying it to the outer corner and a little in the crease. Going back with Splash. And a little more of the lid color. And again, base color. And on the fake one, these two colors, Subtle and Bridges or something, they spell it really weird. They look the same, but I'm going to use the one that's in the same place. And this one actually looks darker, which might be a good thing. And I was having a little trouble with the Jeffree Star one, but this one definitely doesn't really apply that much. And then going back with fake Splash and more of the lid. And then going back in the crease. So now I'm going to clean up the outer edge with a makeup wipe. And this one made a really good line. Let's see what this one looks like. So I think that both of them actually look pretty similar. It turned out kind of good. I'm going to take the same brush I was using in the crease and use this end. And then the Real palette, the shade Parched. It's just this nude color. Putting that under my eyebrow. And then taking the crease color and blending it together. And then I'm going to be doing the same thing on the other side, just cleaning my brush. And they call theirs Colorzend or something. I don't know, none of theirs are really spelled right. I like how these turned out. I'm going to do some black eyeliner. So I have the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Eyeliner, a micro tip one in Intense Black. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is the final look. As you can see, this side is kind of pigmented, glittery. And then this side kind of is appearing well on camera, but the lid is just not really there. You can't really see the colors. The crease is okay, but it just wasn't applying that well. It doesn't look that well in the actual mirror. And I don't recommend the fake one. And I recommend the real one. I think it's a good palette. It has a lot of bright colors. And thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. If you'd like to see how I do my face makeup, my eyebrows, or just another complete look, please let me know down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.